particular moment in time, and that was Kyler Murray. This is not that same question. You're talking about a franchise quarterback. Who would you rather have? And Russell Wilson is tried and proven. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won a Super Bowl championship. If Pete Carroll didn't ask him to and Darrell Bevel didn't ask him to throw that damn slant pattern to Tyler Lockett that got intercepted by Malcolm Butler, and instead of giving the ball to beast mode at the half-yard line, he'd have 2 rings instead of 1, and the Patriots would have 5 rings instead of 6. It's just that simple to me. When you look at his record right now, this man is 92-44-1 as a starting quarterback in the National Football League for the Seattle Seahawks. On many, many occasions, you know what, he was not that dude. In other words, it was the Legion of Boom, and the offense evolved around that and beast mode. And then Russell Wilson came into the fray and just showed you what he could bring to the table, so much so that the franchise was handed to him. The keys to the franchise were handed to him. This year, he's been unleashed. And even though he's struggled as of late, I will remind everybody he's still completing 69.8% of his passes. He still has 28 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. I mean, he hasn't been god-awful. The reality of the situation is that the vast majority of this season, he's been a leading MVP candidate until the last 2 weeks. So I look at what he brings to the table, and I'm of the mindset, Russell Wilson is special. I got mad respect and love for Kyler Murray, but you got to do it over a period of time. Russell Wilson has done that. We know how elite he is. I'm rolling with him.
Oh, every GM in football is like, why isn't Stephen A a GM that I can negotiate against? Let me get this straight, Stephen A. You have 2 dudes. Russell Wilson's a little better than Kyler Murray right now. In fact, he's more dangerous, too. We were just arguing that. You were telling me Kyler Murray's more dangerous than Russ right now. But even the fact that someone could argue, and many people do, that he's more dangerous than Russell Wilson right now, even the fact that they are very similar, the questions even being asked, is Kyler Murray ahead of Russell Wilson in the MVP race? No, I don't think he is. I think Russ is still a little ahead of him. Not that that's 1 and 2 in the MVP race, but in terms of their rank there. Even the fact that we're asking that right now, in Kyler Murray's second year, Russell Wilson was not asked to do what Kyler Murray is being asked to do in terms of carrying the load of the team. Like the hopes and dreams, the winning is pinned on him. Russell had a better defense, obviously, than Kyler Murray early in his career. But even the fact that they're comparable already, and they are comparable, they're very comparable. Same height, more or less the same size, both really fast, both with good arms, both can pick up first downs with their legs, but often use their legs to extend plays, keep their eyes down the field. By the way, both were good enough at baseball on a college level to be drafted by Major League Baseball. They were both drafted. Kyler Murray, I'll mention, was drafted in the first round by, I think it was Billy Beane and the A's. Like, they know what they're looking at, and they know the analytics and all that stuff. They thought he was a first-round pick. But they both still want to play baseball. Talk to Kyler. There's so many similarities between these two. But one is almost 10 years younger than the other. 10 years. He's almost a decade younger. Who do I want for my franchise quarterback? Between 2 guys who are the best comps for each other in the league? If you said, what's the best comp for Russell Wilson that you've ever seen? You might say Kyler Murray, and vice versa. But Kyler Murray's ahead of Russell Wilson's pace, and he's a decade younger, way cheaper, but you want Russell Wilson as your franchise QB? Oh, I wish we were GMs, Stephen A.
This is one, and you know what? If we were a GM, I'd hang up on you because that's just an asinine argument for the purposes of a debate show. Of course, because one is 23 and one is 31. Max, I'm here thinking, okay, we're looking at their talents over the next few years. Here we go. Basically, what you're saying to me right now, Max, is that, okay, Russell Wilson could continue to do what he's going to do for 5 years. But because Kyler Murray could do it for 10, because he's obviously almost 10 years younger, that's why you would 15. Do it. What the hell you say everything else for? Because I didn't know that's what we were doing. I thought we were looking at their talents and saying, excuse me, looking at who they are. Who would you want? I didn't know I got to look at who's cheaper. I didn't know that I had to look at, oh my goodness, he's 8 years younger. So because if that's the case, why even talk about everything else? He's 8 years younger, and oh, by the way, he can ball. You know what? Eventually he'll catch up to Russ because Russ is going to get old. I could have just stopped there. I'm looking at both of them play, and I'm saying they could. This is what they can do. Who would you rather have as your franchise quarterback?
No.
Right now.
Are you able to shut off your hearing? Because most people are not. Are you able to? Did you hear what I told you? I was very clear about it. They are incredibly comparable. They are the same size. They're both fast. They both play big. Like they are very similar athletes, and they have a lot of similarities as quarterbacks. The difference is Kyler Murray
But you brought up
better
age
at a younger
and
age
contract.
than Russell Wilson is.
Then why did you bring up the age and contract?
You say
We'll talk about
Then
this
why did you
later,
bring up the
fellas.
age and contract
that
then?
suggests
The
you have a
Knicks get their
franchise.
hometown.
I feel like I could, I never say never, but as of right now, man, I'm having fun doing what I love.
So he says that, and of course everybody loses that right there. Like I see the look on your face, Dominique Foxworth. You love it, don't you?
Absolutely. I mean, that was a heat check moment for him. He's feeling really good about himself. But when you really think about it, if he really wants to do it, who's going to say no? You think Major League Baseball is going to say no to having a star like that and the attention that it would bring? Or do you think the Cardinals are going to be like, nah, our first real homegrown franchise quarterback that we ever have, no, we're not going to let you do what you want to do. Yes, Mr. Greenberg, what do you have to say?
I'm going to say no. You cannot play quarterback in the National Football League and play in the majors at the same time. Bo Jackson would show up to Oakland in October. You think you're going to have an NFL team where your quarterback is going to miss all of the summer and all of the preseason and the first 6 weeks of the season and show up and be your quarterback? That's not an option.
And we also thought having a 5'7" quarterback in the NFL was also impossible. So I'm not saying that I'm not saying that he's going to succeed at it. I'm saying that nobody can stop him. Who's going to stop him? Are the Cards going to put their foot down and say, no, we don't want a franchise quarterback who wants to play baseball? Or is MLB going to say, no, we don't want that attention? Everyone is at whatever he wants to do is what's going to happen. If he decides he wants to play baseball, I guarantee you no one's going to stop him from doing it.
Jeff D, talk some sense into this man.
Well, at some point, Kyler Murray's going to be up for a huge second contract, and we've seen the numbers going around for quarterbacks. And I guarantee you when they do that deal, there's going to be language in there that stipulates that he stick to football or that he forfeits certain money if he goes to play baseball. And again, it would be awesome to see. We'd love to see guys do something like that. He's good enough to do it. He's talented enough to do it. But I don't think it's practical in the world of the Arizona Cardinals. Nick is saying it works for baseball. Yes. It works for Kyler Murray. Yes. It does not work for the Arizona Cardinals, and I think that they will have something to say about that in the future when they sit down to do that next contract, which will be a record-breaking deal.
Let's just do a little dramatic reenactment here. All right, Louis Riddick, you're the general manager of the team, and I'm Kyler Murray, and I walk in and I say, hey, I've got an idea. Next year, I'm going to go play baseball, and then I'll come here and I'll start playing for you guys again in October. Louis, how does that conversation go?
No. No.
Can I be Kyler Murray in this situation?
Go ahead.
All
Doc.
right.
Go ahead.
No.
All right. Cut me then. Now what?
No.
I'm not
going to do that either.
You either let me do what I want to do, or you let me go. Like it's
it's not going to go like that. It's not going to go to where you're just going to let him do what he wants to do. You're going to take care of the young man. You're going to talk to him about the fact that look, he has a chance to be a position redefining type of player. You are probably going to then feel as though he's got you where he wants you in terms of negotiating leverage. But you know what? That's the way it goes, right? That's the way it goes when you have a position redefining type of quarterback. You know that you're going to have to allocate a ridiculous amount of money from the salary cap towards his salary. So you make it very much so a situation where he understands that not only is he going to get paid, but he has a chance to be one of the best of all time and redefine how people look at quarterbacks. Yeah. And I think eventually he'll be like, look, I can't do both of these things, although it would be nice. Right. And then everybody's happy. But at first, I'm taking a drink and I'm going.
I don't disagree with any of you. All I'm saying is no one can stop him if that's what he wants to do. If he really decides that he wants to do that, you can't stop him.
Let me also say this. They've already been down this road, both sides. Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. They had these conversations leading up to him becoming